Declutter your love life. Spring cleaning for your heart. Get your love life in order. Spring is upon us. And March 20th, actually, we're having the Love Lab, which is create your ideal man profile, which we're going over that quick start guide that I gave out last week. And then on the 24th, we're going to have our love story reset, which is a challenge 5 days to reset your love story for the spring, clear out the winter, bring in the spring. Doesn't matter if you're old or young, married, single, struggling in a relationship, or successful. If you live in the modern world, you know we accumulate stuff. We carry baggage. We hold on to things that don't serve our love life. We are stepping into spring, the season of renewal, fresh starts, and you guessed it, decluttering. One of my favorite activities, decluttering. I call what I do in my house tidio, tidying, decluttering, and organizing. Tidio. Today, we're not talking about tidying up your closet, although we can be honest about that. That might need some love too. We're talking about decluttering your love life, clearing out emotional baggage, outdated beliefs, unhealthy patterns, and yes, even the wrong people taking up space in your heart. That's exactly what we're diving into today. I'll walk you through 3 essential steps to start decluttering your love life and make room for the relationship you actually want. And that might be with a person that's already in your life. Big welcome to the Love Minded crew. And for those of you that are new here, I'm Coach Constance, your love minded dating and relationship strategist. I help women attract and keep true love by dating with intention, setting and keeping strong boundaries, and stepping in to the feminine potency. No more situationships that leave you guessing your life choice. We want to ditch the dating dogma, disasters, and drama. Toss the toads. We all have toads in our life at some point. Own the limitless, love minded life you are worthy of. We're here to support you in that. You do not have to do it alone. Every week we meet here on Coffee with Coach Constance to get real about love, dating, and relationships. Bring your favorite beverage, take a sip of your coffee, get cozy, and let's get started. Spring cleaning isn't just about getting rid of stuff. It's about making space for something better. I remember when I had a big storage unit in LA and I was very stuck and I wasn't calling in the one. I was repeating patterns. He wasn't finding me. And I literally emptied that storage unit. I shredded journals going back to kindergarten. I actually had a good friend of mine who swiped the box that the journal where we met, and also journals from kindergarten. And she mailed it to me several months later once I was on the East Coast, which was very thoughtful and sweet. I decluttered those things to create space. And I might not have even been aware at the time. Getting rid of all those journals, getting rid of that past, I felt the energy open up. I felt it happen. Better men were stepping into my life. I created more space. Many times, as alpha women, we're parties amongst ourselves, and there's not much space for other people in our life, for that man, for that romance. We're doing everything on our own. So who needs somebody, right? So they're coming into our life and seeing that, like, wow, she's got it all going on. There's nothing here for me to do. There's nothing that I can do to help improve her life. So I'm going to step away because she deserves better than me. We want to create that space. And it's exhausting to be the biggest man in our life, especially if we're not a man. So we want to create the space for other people to participate in our life as well. Here are 3 essential steps to declutter your love life and make room for the relationship you actually want. Step 1, do you have too much emotional baggage in your life? Identify what no longer serves you. In the same way we accumulate too much stuff in our homes, we accumulate too much emotional baggage in our lives. Past heartbreaks that still weigh on us and still weigh us down. Unhealthy patterns we keep repeating. We want to pay attention to those patterns. People who drain our energy instead of uplifting us. Limiting beliefs that make us settle for less than we deserve. Think about it. If your love life was a closet, what needs to go, and to come from a place detached with love. Come from a place of, it no longer serves me. Maybe it's for somebody else. Maybe he's somebody else's king. Stoicism, which we pull into this work, this dating we do, is very much based on the principles of Stoicism. Stoicism principle says a man is as wealthy as the things he can afford to let go of. And the same is true in love. The more emotional junk you hold on to, the less space you have for real, fulfilling love. If you want a love action, I like to give out love actions in case people want to take action. Write down 3 things, beliefs, or people that no longer serve you in your love life. Just acknowledge them. That's the first step to letting go. Awareness. Step 2, decluttering your love life, deciding what stays and setting rules for what you allow in. Set stronger boundaries. Love decluttering isn't just about removing things from our love life. It's about deciding what stays and setting rules for what you allow in. Seneca, one of the Stoics, once said that many people are slaves to the things they think they own. In dating and relationships, we can become slaves to fear of being alone, unclear boundaries that let people take advantage of us, the pressure to be quote unquote nice instead of standing firm. One of my favorite quotes from Dr. Pat Allen is, a woman that doesn't know how to say no is usable and abusable, resents the person doing it, but it's not the other person's job to make and keep her boundaries. Watch out for that being nice, that people pleaser. Here's the truth. If you don't set boundaries, the world will set them for you, and it won't necessarily be with your best interest in mind. And then we're sliding into codependency. The most powerful boundary is knowing how to say no. And that's one of the things I'm passionate about, passing that on. No to someone who doesn't align with your values. No to waiting around for someone to figure out, quote unquote, figure out if they want you. And no to settling for breadcrumbs when you're worthy of the whole loaf. Here's a love action step for that. Ask yourself, where do I need stronger boundaries in my love life? Pick one area to focus on this week. Step 3, want to help manifest true love? Make space for what you want. You can't manifest true love if your heart and mind are cluttered with the past. You have to make space for the right relationship. Are you making time to date intentionally? Are you treating yourself the way you want a partner to treat you? Are you clear on what you truly want, or just hoping love happens, quote unquote happens? Maybe just go with the flow. Why do we have to think about it? You want to be clear on what you truly want. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic, said, ask yourself at every moment, is this essential? Is this essential to my love life? Is it essential? Ask yourself now, is this person, habit, or mindset essential to the love life I want? If the answer is no, it's time to let it go. There's a saying, let go or be dragged. We want to practice letting go. Here's a love action step for this. Write down one new habit or love mindset shift you'll embrace to make space for love. Okay, let's talk about it. What time is it? Time for the love seat. This is now time for the love seat, and I want to hear from you. Get your questions answered. So maybe celebrate some things that have happened over the week. Or maybe you have a celebration you haven't shared yet. We want to celebrate with you. We're here for each other. We'll declutter your love life together. If you need help setting a boundary, struggling to let go of an ex, wondering how to attract better quality men, we'll go with that. How do I know if I'm holding on to emotional baggage? If thoughts of your past relationships, fears, or disappointments still affect your current love life, that's usually baggage. If you feel anxious, bitter, or afraid of repeating the past, that's usually baggage. Write down what's holding you back, acknowledge it, and choose to release it. The thing is looking at resentments or anger. Do you have any anger? Is the 5 angers denial? This isn't happening. Frustration, why me? Resentment, it's you. And then negative indignation, I'm mad as hell, I'm going to do something really stupid about it. And positive indignation, I'm mad as hell, I'm going to do something positive about it. Process through your anger. Don't sit in it. Don't suppress it. Don't push it down. Keep an eye out for emotional baggage. Now's the time to clear that out. We don't want to bring that baggage into the new relationship. Each person is new, each situation is new. And this goes again for if you're long term married or just meeting someone. Don't get too invested in those stories of them from other people or stories of them from the past. You don't have to get into the nitty gritty of where they came from as far as why they divorced and what their relationships were. You're an entirely different person. This is an entirely different situation. We don't want to be completely blind to it, but we want to watch the trustworthy record we're experiencing and take into consideration, but not to let it weigh heavily on your choices if you're having a different experience. That's what I would do for emotional baggage. And join us on March 24th. We'll dive into getting rid of that past, getting rid of some emotional baggage. The ways to notice if you are holding on to emotional baggage is if you are ruminating, feeling and thinking and feeling and thinking about the past, about someone long gone. That might be emotional baggage. Here's a question that came in on text. Let me know if you have time to talk. Oh, okay. That is a one-on-one question they're asking for. I've got a question I prefer one-on-one. Okay. I do have time to talk. Later today, I'm on East Coast time. But remember, with my phone and with checking in with me or with reaching out, it's 24/7. If I can get to it, I get to it. If not, it does not disturb me. We don't have to worry about time zones. I do have some space for clients if you're looking to get some personal work and you'd rather more confidential, discreet ways of talking through your things, what you're working on. Another text. How do you set boundaries without feeling guilty? Boundaries are an act of self-respect. It's not selfish. Actually, if we overgive, that's coming from more of a selfish place. We're trying to seduce with guilt. If we find ourselves saying, after all I've done for you, that can come from someone that's not saying no and who's overgiving. When you say no to the wrong people, you're saying yes to your happiness. When we say no to one thing, we are saying yes to other things. The key is to be clear and consistent. If we set a boundary and we then voluntarily change that boundary, especially without talking it through with the other person, it looks like we don't say what we mean what we say. You want to be clear and consistent. This is what I need. This is what I won't accept. This is what I won't accept less of. Do it with negotiating with love, not with fear of intimidation or seducing with guilt. Do it with, I'm an adult, you're an adult. I'm okay, you're okay. We're negotiating here to see how compatible we are to play. That quote comes in handy that I said earlier. I learned from one of my most influential mentors, Dr. Pat Allen. A woman that doesn't know how to say no is usable and abusable, resents the people doing it, but it's not the other person's job to make and keep her boundaries. You're not doing anyone favors to not make your boundaries because then you leave them mind reading. It's very gamey. They may start deciding for you, and usually it's not with your best interests in mind. They're thinking for themselves. Keep in mind, too, doing things for me, for you. I'm going to do this for me, for you. I'm doing this call for me, for you. I want you to benefit from it. I want you to have access to this information. However, I enjoy doing it, and it keeps me on the beam. It keeps me focusing on my love story and walking the walk and talking the talk. So I'm doing it for me, for you. Keep in mind, also, I love you, but not more than me. When you have something for yourself that's self-love and somebody wants you to change it and you're not feeling comfortable with that, I love you, but not more than me. Another text coming in. Why do I still have dreams about my ex-boyfriend? We were together for 9 years. We have been broken up for 10 years. I've done a lot of personal inventory on this relationship. I don't look at his social media nor speak of him. I will say I felt very sad this morning of a dream I had about him last night. All right, there's a lot of different variables that can come into play as far as being bonded or dreaming of or having the other person still in our consciousness. And I encourage you to take the Love Story Reset Challenge that we're doing at the end of the month to help take actions to get away from that energy. We want to work through the energy, not suppress it. And one of the things we want to pay attention to is nature. Nature wants us paired off. It wants the feminine paired off and having babies. We have oxytocin gushing through our body, the cuddle hormone, the bonding hormone. And also in today's world, there's mated and married. Mated is married without the paperwork. Married is married with the paperwork, like through the state. When we're together 9 years with a partner, you were mated. And part of the culture doesn't necessarily support a breakup of 9 years. It'll support a divorce more so than somebody that's been together 9 years, which is mated. That can be very difficult to go through alone. To create little rituals to process that out can be helpful. Also, keep in mind that nature wants you paired off. And some of the things nature does is it keeps us bonded to them, super glued to them. If we don't get out there, haul our chemistry around and hope somebody else steals it, men tend to have harems. Men don't have that oxytocin bonding. They like their harems. One of the things, too, that happens in that situation is nobody else looks so good because our chemistry is paired off. Nobody else smells so good. Nobody else looks so good. So we want to get out there and take counteraction because everything in our cells is telling us to just wait for this man and long for this person. We want to take counteraction even though you might not be ready. I'm just not ready. It's just not yet. I just don't want to do those dating sites. I just don't want to get out there and everyone's so boring. You want to take counteraction to that and not beat yourself up that you're still having these dreams and these thoughts. Quick question.
Hey, Constance.
Hey there.
I have been open since I've been in New York and, you know, getting to know, letting them come to me or whatever. But sometimes I struggle with the smile thing. But the other thing is I seem to be attracting in men who are just not healthy. And there's this push-pull, like they're either alcoholics, so I see the red flags. I was dating a guy on the app and he was the one taking the action. I just responded, but then kept trying to manipulate me back to his apartment. And I just said, listen, I'd like to get to know you before anything physical to see if we're both on the same page. I feel like I keep attracting these men. I'm struggling to seem to have men initiate who are solid and even know what that feels like what is a healthy man where I feel safe and I feel like they're my friend. And
Okay. And do you have a question around this?
do you have any suggestions in terms of how to I'm just tired of attracting the same men, you know? So
Okay.
is there anything I can do to change this or to see what a healthy man is, you
Okay,
know?
great.
Yeah.
So, a few things to keep in mind based on what you said. As the feminine, we're the big magnet. We're attracting everything. And that's why there's the importance of knowing the word no and how to respectfully set our boundaries. It's not who we attract, it's who we keep. We're going to attract all kinds. So don't worry about who you're attracting. Be more solid and confident and saying no respectfully and watch emotional language like I can't do this. I can't, I should, I must, because that's giving away your power. It's I don't want to experience this. I can experience the same thing over and over, but then the price tag is I'll get the same results over and over. Therefore, I don't want to experience this. And we want to do our part and hope the universe does its part, do all our footwork, and then see who is coming towards you. Look at the different deals. Also, as far as sorting, one of the things that helps you sort is to be more clear on what is it you don't want. And I happen to have sent out last week, I don't know if you got it or not, I can send it to you again. The Create Your Ideal Man Profile Quick Start Guide helps with this. It's creating that ideal man profile so you have a better idea what your match would be. So you have ways to identify it better when it shows up. We want to ask the universe and we want to hold the vibration as if it's already happening. And we want to identify it when it shows up and be able to receive when it shows up. Perhaps that'll be a tool that can help you with what you're asking about, with how to begin to attract those better men, high quality men, and receive them into your life. Thank you. That's all the time we have for the love seat today. Final thought, you don't need to wait for the perfect moment to declutter your love life. Spring cleaning starts today. The lighter you feel, the clearer your path to love becomes. Out with the old, in with true love. Decluttering your love life is more about just removing what's wrong. It's about making space for what's right. And if you want a little mantra, repeat after me. I release what no longer serves me so I can receive the love story, the love life that is meant for me. If you want a little love challenge for this week, start your love life detox. Pick one thing to let go of, an old belief, a toxic habit, or a person who no longer aligns with your vision. Write it down, say goodbye, and choose to move forward. And tell me about it. I'm on Instagram and YouTube, so you can DM me there your results. I'm at Coach Constance. You can find me. So do this and follow me on Instagram and YouTube. Also, tonight is the private women's group. If you're interested in the details, text me. March 20th, I'm doing the Love Lab on Create Your Ideal Man profile to dive deeper and get your questions answered on that quick start guide. And on March 24th is our Love Story Reset Challenge, 5 days to reset, recharge, and reignite your love life. If you want help with your love spring cleaning and decluttering your love life, I encourage you to do this. It's going to be a small cohort of people. So you're going to have lots of opportunity to work personally and move forward. Maybe you're one of those people that started off the year with a bunch of resolutions for a better love life and you had a bunch of ideas. Then life got in the way. You got tired. You got distracted. Things happened. Don't write the whole year off. In fact, spring is a great time to come back to the rhythm of love. This is an opportunity to get back on track. And I'd love to have you join us in the Love Minded Living Love Story Reset. You can sign up right now. You can text me or DM me. And until next time, I'm sending you love, love, love.